Uh, walang last name. So, hindi Peterson yung last name ko, C-O. And, anyway. So yeah, thank you for coming to Frog. First of the year. So may commitment kasi ako to give a talk at least once a year to help me speak in public. So I really have a terrible, terrible fear of talking in front of you. So just bear with me. Alright, my talk will be about WebSockets in Rails. It's kind of funny because we already have ActionCable, and why the hell am I talking about this? Because here's the thing. I've been dabbling a lot about on Elixir. So any Elixir devs, represent please. Okay, so I guess I'm the only one. So Elixir is a language based on Erlang, and it's made by Jose Vilim. So if you know Jose Vilim, he made Device, which is really cool. So if you're looking for a language that looks like Ruby, but you want the power, the fault tolerance, and I don't know, the happiness of coding Ruby, I guess it's Elixir for you. But that's not my talk about. My talk about WebSockets and Rails. So just a brief description. So my name is Adrian, Peterson ko. Ako si PC at everywhere. So Twitter, Steam, Blizzard, Battle.net. So you can add me there. So I work at Split Media Labs, and I'm the lead software developer at Challenge. So basically what David did, I try to clean it up sometimes and actually make a lot of tests. But yeah. Okay, also I would like to plug in Fackers Slack. So you can join us at fackers.com. We have a great Ruby community there. We have jobs, career advice, and relationship advice if you're having problems. Okay, so context. So here's the feature that I've been building for our previous sprint, and so here's what happened. So what I need to do was I need to actually have a connect to Stripe button, so that actually will give the credentials from Stripe for the user, so we can actually give out payouts and sell tickets and stuff. And the gist is I need the button to work everywhere, and actually so there's this React component I built, and I just want to mount this component to anywhere by using that element, and that should work. And I kind of worked it around that it opens another window, and actually it comes in and comes back with the request, and it updates the button where you can actually just remove the Stripe connection. So when I was dabbling at this, I thought of a few solutions. Number one is a ton of jQuery, where you can actually change the pages, which I'm not really a fan of. Another one is stimulus.js, which is, again, I'm not a fan of because it's too much bloat. Then I came with the solution of, hey, why not I just do a pub sub? So it's kind of overkill, but it kind of aligns with what we want to do in the future, which is offloading most of our JavaScript pub sub into a different service. So that's what I came up with this solution. So okay, so I checked with my options on what I can do. So of course with Rails ActionCable, so that's the first thing I checked out. Problem is we're running at Rails 4.2.10, and when I tried to update, this happened. So a bunch of dependencies that weren't in line anymore. I have to update this and that, and I don't want to do it because it might take a while to do it, and we really need the feature ready for the next sprint. So I had to look for another solution. Next was AnyCable. AnyCable had this really good idea where you can use ActionCable for almost anything. So you can run a Go instance, an Erlang instance that actually does a pub sub, and it should work fine. But the thing is, I'm not really familiar with AnyCable yet. I still had to research it. So I went with my strengths, which is Phoenix, Elixir. So I'm just going to be showing some code here. And So this is basically a controller where I authenticate the user and actually give out a token for them to join for the room or the lobby. Then here's the channel itself. So what it does is it synchronizes both windows. Let hey, yeah, we received the request that the page we received the request that hey, it's already go. The Stripe connection went through. Then just send the connection. And also I've handled token expiry and also checking the user if it really exists. And okay, implementing on the Rails side is this. It's actually JavaScript. So, okay. So the thing was the main blocker that I have here was figuring out how can I connect the socket connection of the Phoenix socket connection here in Rails. So I found out actually that the socket library file of Phoenix is actually an npm file install. So you can actually just npm install Phoenix socket and that's it. So that's what I did, and I was able to use the socket library for Phoenix here in Rails. So that's pretty easy. Then all I need to do was this. It's basically send a connection. If you can see, it's in Heroku because I'm cheap, and I haven't talked to David that hey, I did this. And yeah, and basically yeah, that's what it does. When we receive it, it sends OK and actually closes the window. So if you can go back to see how it works out like another window. And when you sign into your Stripe account, and it says OK, you're done, and it updates the page. Okay, so key takeaways. Elixir is fun. Pattern matching and pipe operators are really good. ActionCable is good, but it's only good for Rails 5 and above, and also good for small connections. And integrating Phoenix channels in any JS library is easy because of the npm package that's already available. If you're interested in learning more about Elixir and what it can do for you, there's some links below. So Chris McCord made a comparison of Phoenix channels versus ActionCable. Then he actually talked about how he was able to make 2 million WebSocket connections in small, like a 40-core, 64-gigabyte server, and 2 million connections without any much movement. And yeah, AnyCable is really good to look at. So yeah, that's my talk. Questions? I'm entertaining questions. Wala. Yeah, at the back. Okay. I'm not really sure how you actually try to learn. So what I normally recommend is actually learning Phoenix then before Elixir, which is really bad. So you can actually check exersystem.io if you want to learn Elixir first. They have a lot of tests that actually give out to you, like how to do a palindrome, how to check for how to do your own enum library. So yeah, check exersystem.io. For Phoenix tutorials, you can actually just go to the phoenixframework.org website. So they have almost all of the things that are in there. So they can teach you about how to test it, how to do channels, the normal MVC stuff, and it's pretty updated. So yeah. Next question. Wala na. Okay. Wala. Okay. Thank you. Here's Terrence.